When we first go to a site, everything feels chaotic sound, smell, traffic, walls, vendors, lights. It's all overwhelming. But if we slow down and start connecting what we see to why it's happening, we start to uncover the hidden logic of a place. That's what site analysis is, the art of decoding complexity. We are not just drawing plans, we are revealing relationships between behaviors and spaces, between movements and economy, and between form and memory. Think of it like getting to know somebody deeply. The first visit gives you the impression, and analysis gives you an understanding. So, by the end of this lecture, I expect you guys to know your site so well that you can walk it in your mind. Every turn, every shortcut, and every habit of its users should be on your fingertips. No site exists in isolation or in the present alone. Every built environment carries memory, layers of decisions, mistakes, and adaptation. The first thing you must do is research its past. Look for old plans, city records, or historic imagery. See what changed and what resisted that change. Overlay older maps on Google Earth of today. Maybe the current parking lot was once a canal. Maybe the road that feels random follows a historic irrigation canal. Talk to the people who have lived there long enough guards, tea sellers, or local shopkeepers. They'll tell you things your document won't. यहाँ पहले सिनेमा होता था यहाँ पे पहले एक बाजार हुआ करता था. That's lived data. When you combine his recorded history with lived memory, you begin to understand why your site is structured the way it is, not just how it looks now. This is where your fieldwork becomes systematic. You will use the Petron template as well, the small form we discussed earlier. For every single observation you think matters, each sheet captures one phenomena. It could be a problem, a strength, or any interesting adaptation of the site. Give it a name that explains the essence of it. For example, shade as a social magnet, abandoned plot as a shortcut, or extended shopfront as shared threshold. Add a photograph or a handmade sketch, then describe what you're seeing objectively, not your opinion, but the facts. Next thing is to think of the cause. Why has this formed? And then the effect. How does it shape anything on your site, be it movement, visibility, or comfort? When you're done, you'll have a visual database of your site's DNA. Not random notes, but structured urban intelligence. To make sense of a site, we don't look at everything at once. We break it down into readable systems. These 6 lenses are your structure. For every site visit, you will study one lens in one time. Each lens reveals one layer of its site's reality. Circulation tells us how it moves. Housing tells us how it breathes. Commerce tells us how it survives. Public spaces show how it connects, and history tells us how it remembers, and form tells us how it's built. Together, they create a holistic understanding, not a list of facts, but an urban portrait. Circulation is the bloodstream of your site. It determines how alive or suffocated the area feels. You'll map not just the streets, but their behaviors as well. Observe the textures of the street, paving, drainage, light, edges. Does it invite walking or repel it? Record all kind of movements, where people cross informally, where vehicles slow down, where chaos naturally feel organized. Textures tell you hierarchy. Fine-grained patterns usually indicate older, human-scaled fabric. Wide and linear streets are modern and vehicular. From this, you'll infer accessibility, permeability, and comfort, these words that define the life of any city. If circulation shows how the site moves, housing shows how it lives. This lens reveals people's relationship with permanence. how they claim, modify, or extend their spaces. Observe height, rhythm, and condition, but also personality. Look at thresholds. Where does the public street ends and private life begins? A chair outside, a potted plant, or a curtain across a door are all your cues. Record density through sketches and photos, but don't judge them yet. High density is not always bad, it means community sometimes. From here, you can start inferring who lives where, what's their income, tenure, and trust shapes, and how their trust shapes the neighborhood structure. The working and commercial layer is the pulse of your site's economy. Walk the streets at different times 9 at morning, 3 past morning, and 9 past morning. You'll notice that activities breathe, markets expand and contract like lungs. Record formal and informal office buildings, kiosks, hawkers, and workshops. Photograph, photograph all the adaptations, pop up stalls, shaded umbrellas, signages, even how workers improvise storage. The spatial footprint of commerce reveals class and creativity. The site that hosts both informal sellers and formal offices is economically resilient. From these observations, you can begin to understand how the economy shapes the architecture. Public spaces are the heart of urban experience. They tell you how generous a city really is. Identify civic institutions, schools, mosques, monuments, libraries. But don't stop there. Observe how people actually use them. A formal park may be empty, while a shaded walkway might be full of life. Record sensory details. Is it noisy, calm, fragrant, or polluted? Map who uses these spaces and when. If women, children, or elderly are missing, that's data on exclusion. Landmarks, where's a tree, where's a gate, a shrine, anything that can act as orientation and identity anchor. Your conclusion here reveals the social health of your site. If a site were a person, this lens is its autobiography. You're not just collecting history, you're collecting identity. Map what used to be, what was lost, and what memories linger yet. Talk to residents, ask what they are proud of, what frustrates them, what they wished could return. Record patterns of migration, community, or decline. This human dimension gives emotional weight to your analysis. It teaches you that design is not only about spaces, but also about stories and continuity. The last lens is your physical foundation. It's where everything you're observing or have observed become measurable. Redraw the site accurately in plan and section. Show buildings, open spaces, and terrain changes. Use colors to distinguish heights and types. A figure ground map helps you see the city's rhythm, solids and building forms, voids and breathing spaces. When you compare the two, you understand proportion, enclosure, and density, the backbone of urban design decisions. Now that you know how to analyze a site, let's talk about how to map it. So it's the first tutorial I'm ever doing. Please pardon any mistakes. So we'll be learning about the geotechnical geolocation functionality of the AutoCAD. We will be just learning how to use the geolocations map, or you can say the Google Maps, and how can we open Google Maps in a ticket, and then how we can just use you can say extract areas or plots from the maps. Okay, let's just jump into the article so you can see how we'll be using AutoCAD 2021 You can use any advanced version, so the functionality is not available in older versions. Let's just start a new drawing, and as you can see, I don't like this grid, so I'm going to turn this off. Let's just move ahead. Make sure you're not working without logging in your Autodesk account. So after doing that, we can actually we can go to our insert menu and drop down on the location. We have a lot of options. You can actually type your longitude and latitude, or the address, or the place name in your dialog box. For geographic location, we have a lot of view options. You can go for aerial or hybrid mode. That is completely up to you. Let's go to KP. And here we get Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. You can drop a marker over here. Or if you want to zoom in, you can, and make the picture bigger and have more details. If you zoom in, that's how we drop a marker, and you can place it anywhere you want. Let's start. You can also think of a KMZ file, and you can get it from your computer settings. Right now I don't have one, so I'll just let it be. Do not forget to set your units and your location coordinates while we are working. We'll be working with units either inches and feet, and our location is, let's go to UMT. Yes. Let's go to Karachi as our time zone. So here we go. This is our X and Y coordinates. You can see on your screen that's the pin location we actually placed. And here it is. You can zoom in. And you can name your plot. Let's call it my plot. I'm just going to show you how to do it with one plot, and you can actually use the same method to do it with your entire site. So you can either find area or parameter of the site. It's completely up to you. You can change the views from here as well at any point if you want to, think about your circulation patterns or any other thing. Or you can capture area and keep it as a image only. Here we can go for a polyline and start tracing out ortho of the boundary of our site to find out size and length of our plot. So here you can see we have this polyline. And you know the drill already. You can just find out the area. And it's giving area and length both. You can clip it and paste it here, like if you want to annotate it on your file. So at any point, if you want to capture the area to be sent to anybody, it can be your client, it can be your assignment, you can just save it like that. And you'll be able to directly send it as an image. So students, everything we have talked about today leads to one realization, that cities aren't designed once, they evolve constantly and continuously. When we analyze our sites properly, we begin to see why it behaves the way it does. A street corner is never just a corner only. A bazaar is not a bazaar only. All of them are meeting places for politics, weather, routine, and history. Remember, analysis isn't an assignment, it's a mindset. Your job is not to beautify maps, but to make them speak the truth. The real designer isn't the one who draws fast, it's the one who reads deeply.